Hey everyone, welcome back to the Good Homie Podcast, episode 3. This episode is a pretty fun one for us to do. We were just basically spitballing stories about our first jobs, our first part-time jobs, some funny stories, some weird experiences, and how it made us better people. So yeah, it should be a fun one, and hope you guys enjoy it. This is also our first in-person podcast since we started this thing, and there were a couple of issues with the video. Unfortunately, we shot it ultra wide, which has kind of killed the quality. So we'll try to fix that in the future episodes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys follow our Instagram at ugh.podcast and also our personal Instagrams. Going forward, we'll be utilizing the Instagram question feature on the stories a lot more to get your guys' involvement in the episodes, because we really do enjoy getting your guys' input and your takes on the different topics that we talk about, and highlighting them in the episodes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and take care. Goodbye.
It took forever to set up.
Oh fucking hell, bro.
Stop.
Hey guys.
Welcome to our channel. Make sure you like, comment, send nudes. No, don't do that, please.
No nudes, please. No nudes. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I guess we don't have any notes to look at. We just have to.
Yeah, just story time, bro.
Do you wanna introduce what we're talking about? I feel
right.
like you're good at that.
All right, so this is episode 3. We thought episode 1 and 2 were pretty heavy, so we wanted to do a lighter episode. So in this episode, we're just going to be doing story time of our part-time jobs that we have had or currently have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some messed up stories, some funny stories, what we learned, how it made us better people. So I think you guys know who we are. We introduced ourselves in the first episode. If you didn't watch the first episode, don't be an Andy. Watch the first episode.
Jose,
baby.
Mendoza. I guess you can start with like our first job. I don't know if that's like the very first part-time job we all worked at.
Oh man.
Does anyone want to start?
I've had like a lot of like shitty first like part-time jobs.
What was your first job?
Your very first.
What was your job virginity?
My job virginity is it was a mucho burrito.
Yo, I swear I went there like one time. I did.
They made me
for his
work on
birthday.
my birthday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Work on my
Scummy.
birthday, dude. I just remember it was super shady because they didn't officially hire me. I feel like they paid me under the table. Like they're giving me paychecks like every other week. And I was like, man, I'm making like $900 for like low key like working like almost 40 hours a week.
We'll pay you in coupons from Mucho Burrito.
And it was like, I feel like that's the reason why I don't eat like Chipotle and like
I don't like Chipotle
and like all that stuff anymore is because like I was so traumatized from all that stuff.
As an Hispanic, I don't like Mucho Burrito or Chipotle. It was funny because like when I talked to Karen and like when we started like thinking, that was one of the conversations we had. Was like I think in van, when we were in Mucho Burrito, I was like, I actually don't like those places. Like it smells musty.
It's very rip-off kind of food.
Yeah. Hey, you want to come in? You want to come in? It's okay. It's fine. We're just chilling.
We're just
We can edit you out.
We can edit you out.
Or we
If
can
you
edit
want.
with a massive forehead. Please don't trip on any of the wires.
It's all good. It's fine.
What was your first job?
Yeah, what was your first job, man?
My first job was actually like official first job. So like I worked at a hotel like one day just to like clean, like you know how like they have banquets at Marriott or something, right?
Oh, so you had like an immigrant job.
I had an immigrant job, but it was just for one day. But my official first job is the legendary first job at McDonald's.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
Bro, it was actually crazy because this McDonald's was the one like my parents always took me to when I was young, like when they still had the Game Cubes and stuff, right? Yo, I was playing Mario Kart in the play place, bro. Like I ended up working at the McDonald's where like my parents took me to, and it was pretty cool because I don't know, like changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
But
from like the pizza roof or like that, the red roof.
yeah. But yeah, I worked there for for 7 years, and I only stopped working last year. So
Damn.
You're the most like goal-oriented person I've met because you're just like, yeah, McDonald's, and then a nice job.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
bro,
like I know people like like a lot of my friends who go from like shitty jobs to shitty part-time jobs, just like kind of make money and try to find a good place, and then when they finish school, then they find
like a job.
But you kept the same job all through high school.
I could have quit.
And
bro,
post-secondary.
you could have quit so many times.
I could have quit,
too.
but I was too lazy to quit. And it was nice because like I could book off like any day I want, because like I actually was like a good person, so, or like a good like crew member, so so they're like, they gave me anything I want. Like when I quit, they actually like kind of begged me to stay. I was like, hell, I'm not fucking.
What the hell? I got like. I'm fucking engineer training. You're not even paying me, me stay at McDonald's.
I need early access to the BTS meal, and I need a raise. Frame one.
Exactly.
Well, technically, my first job was with my family. Do you know like the paper boys that like hand out the flyers?
Yeah.
Like you know how it's like depicted in like the films where it's like, you know, it's like, oh, he's riding
on a bike and you're fucking throwing that shit onto the.
Fun fact, I don't know how to ride a bike, so like it's funny. I don't know how to ride a bike. I know how to drive, so all my friends that make fun of me that know how to ride a bike, I usually like, do you need a ride to somewhere because you can't drive? Anyway, it was it's called Flyer Force, and
Flyer Force.
Yeah,
Flyer Force.
We didn't want my family.
Legit, bro.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, they don't give you the they don't give you the flyers like re-rolled. Like they give you just a piece of paper, like it's like boom, and
eat that.
And so you have to like cut it up, and like it's like just flat sheets of paper, and you have to roll up yourselves. So like damn.
Yo, how many paper cuts you get, bro?
First of all, I got a lot. Secondly, since I did with my family, I don't know where they kept all the newspapers, but it was all of them were like, you know, when you touch something and it has like a film on it, like yeah. So like it felt like it was like stuck in a warehouse or like in Osama bin Laden's asshole somewhere, but like it was so disgusting because
we
like
got him, bro. We got him.
Like
got him.
You know when like, you work on your car, like your hands get dirty. Yeah, like, so every time like after I finished like rolling up the flyers, it got dirty. And then, but that was even the most annoying part because you had to roll up the flyers yourself, and then you had to go door to door to drop them off. But like some people will get like pissed off and like, you know, it's like, no, you need to go and grab the flyer and put it in my front door. Like you can't just like toss it because some people get mad because apparently you ruin their concrete if you like throw it too hard. Yeah. But that was like my first job. But like my actual first job was like Quiznos, and that was like the first job.
I remember this.
Oh, yeah. I remember Quiznos. I remember your Quiznos.
I have the picture.
Oh my god.
It wasn't a bad job. But the problem was that there was only 4 employees. So there was like myself and like 3 other South Asian women. Like that's it, right? So like, and like the manager like needed a part-time employee, right? So she had 3 full-time, including herself, and then she had 1 part-time, which was like usually a student, right? So I guess I was a student at the time, and it wasn't a bad job. Like I didn't mind working there, and like I usually work weekdays anyway, so like I can hang out with the homies and stuff. Yeah. The reason I quit is because they made me clean shit. Like, so like you know, like at the gas station, like someone like kind of turned sideways and rubbed their ass. Yeah. I don't know.
Yo, I feel you so hard.
I came in one shift, and like literally my superior was like, and she doesn't speak English. She was like, "There's sheet on the wall." and I was like, what are you saying? And then like, you know, usually I clean the bathrooms, right? And she was like, it's fine, like just clean as best you can, like you don't have to clean everything, right? But then like the next like superior that came in, like she was a little more inattentive. She was like, no, you gotta clean it, right? So I had to put in like the gloves and everything, and then like clean it. And then like literally like a week after, I like called my manager. I was like, hey, like I have diploma. I was like, I'm really stressed. I don't think I can work here anymore. And like, I made the most bullshit excuse because like, I was so upset that they made me clean up shit off the wall. Like I was the newest employee there, and they're like, yeah, we'll just make Jasen do it. Like,
bro, off the wall, man. How like
off the wall?
Can you not aim?
How do you do that? You're like fucking one leg up and just.
That guy went to Mucha Burrito, I know, because that's what exploded.
I feel you, bro. I had to clean shit more than once actually. But you know how like in McDonald's you like enter and there's like the sink area and then the stall? Bro, this guy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how, but there was shit in the sink area.
Yo, come on.
Okay, bro. We forgot the disclaimer. Don't watch this while you're eating, bro. But
we'll put him kidding.
But yeah, there was like shit on the. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, and then I was like, never again, bro.
And you did it. You're like, I hate this job.
Whenever I saw like shit in the washroom, I pretended to be busy with something else, and then they asked someone else. So, like, pro tip: just work hard.
Keep busy, yeah.
just keep busy. Stay out of your manager's.
I remember when I was working at Mucho Burrito, I saw like my high school teachers come in all the time, and I was like, they like didn't recognize me, and I'm like, yes.
I saw a few junior high teachers. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that Mucho Burrito, like, it wasn't that bad, but it was just like the way that they did things was really shady. Cause like they never told me to take in like a direct deposit. They never took in like my social insurance
like
number.
A void check or anything.
Nothing like that. They just gave me a paycheck at the end of every 2 weeks, and I was just like, yo, tight. But I was just like thinking back, I'm like, yo, I was illegally employed at a Mucho Burrito.
Yeah, how did you do your taxes, bro?
Yeah,
right?
If anything happened to me, bro, like it would have been just like, oh, he doesn't work here.
He doesn't work here. Shit. You won't have to file any papers. Like we were irresponsible.
I think. But like the second job, I think is more akin to you guys. I worked at Tim Hortons.
I remember that
for like 4 years. Oh my god, it was like Filipino Nation.
Oh yeah.
At Tim Hortons.
I remember that.
I worked at Tim Hortons near University here in Calgary, and I was just like, man, it was like the most tiring, most like abusive, most like just like weirdest shit that would happen at this Tim Hortons. I remember like sometimes when like people would get angry, like when we get angry at people, we would do like the weirdest shit to their coffee. Like it would be so bad.
Oh, secrets?
I won't say this on camera because like it's bad, but like man, like don't piss off the people that are making your coffee, man. Like
yo, actually that's facts. Like most of these people who work part-time jobs are like minimum wage workers, right? And people think, from experience, people think they can just disrespect you, bro. They'll do the fucking craziest shit.
No,
even if you're in drive-through, I'll like if I'm in like taking your order, I'll be like, yo, this guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, bro.
You know what to do.
You know what to do. Like low key, if a straw drops on the ground, man, and
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Whatever.
Just shake my hand.
I didn't wash my hands, so shake my hand. Yeah, that whole fucking like entitlement of like dehumanizing part-time workers is so weird especially because like not only do I see that happening, but I know close people that do that, right? So like,
really,
I'm not gonna dox this person, but like we were like at a family dinner, right? And Karen knows this because like we kind of both experienced, but we're at like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So and their specialty is wings, of course. So this one person ordered like nachos, right? Yeah. And they didn't get I guess get enough cheese. And the thing is like the waitress was like someone that Karen knew, right? So like Karen was so embarrassed because she was like this person was throwing a fit of like not getting enough cheese, right? And like it's kind of like, I know exactly who you are, but like you need to be a little empathetic because like this person is just doing their job. They're not refusing to give you cheese. It's just their manager is probably yelling at them like, don't give them cheese, right? And then she's like, goes nice like, hey, sorry, but like if you want cheese, it's like an extra charge, right? But then she was kind of like kind of upset. She was like throwing a fit, and like it was kind of like. And the thing is, this person never worked a part-time job ever. You know what I mean?
Which is that totally makes sense.
But still, I'm just like just because you haven't worked a part-time job, just understand that you're talking to humans, right? And usually you're talking to like kids who like probably go to school and I don't know, listen to like Jonas Brothers and going through it. You know what I mean? So like just take it easy, right? So I don't know. I probably have like a million stories of like Cineplex of how.
Cineplex, spill the tea, bro. Spill the tea. Wait, you don't work in there anymore, right?
No, I don't. I'm not. Well, first of all, I'm not doxing the area. But did you know I got a death threat at
Oh shit!
Yeah, there was like a what's it called? Like a gun, like a gun pointing. I was working during that time. Like me and Jason worked at the same mall at the time, and like bro, like there's like a gun warning. Everyone's freaking out, bro. I'm like trying to close like the store gate, like as the pretty much like the active shooted one.
Oh wait, okay.
Yeah.
There was two instances. There was a robbery and there was a shootout. I was not there in the shootout because I called in sick.
Yeah.
Luckily I called in sick.
Yeah.
I wasn't sick. I just didn't want to go that day. I was like, hey, like
you chose the right day.
Hey, like my throat's kind of sore. Sorry. Something about I don't know, I'm not feeling good, and I kind of just called in. But it was a good thing I called in because of that.
Yeah.
But there was a second scenario where there was actually a robbery, right?
Damn.
And so it wasn't a robbery in the mall, but what happened was they parked on like the front, and then they went in the mall, and then they were trying to exit out through like the exit of the theater, like the back exit, right? Yeah. And I don't know if you saw like photos, but there was a photo of the two like suspect, or I guess
of the robbers,
and they're neat, like apparently like the police like tackled them down, and like they had like scraped at his knees and stuff, but like. It was funny because we actually witnessed them running through the theater.
Damn,
like because I work concession, right? So like obviously I'm in the front, right? So like so how it works that let's say this is concession and this is the entrance and this is the entrance to the mall, and then this is like where all the movie theaters are, right? And then at the very back there's an exit, right? So they came in through the mall entrance, so I guess they were just like scrubbing through the cafeteria, and then they like went through it, and like me and my coworker were like, because all we heard was like freeze, and like we kind of paused for a second, and then like,
hey, yo,
like what? And then we saw like this like dude running at like full speed, right? And then like there was two people, right? And there was like a woman as well, and like she was wearing like short shorts, like we saw from the picture, but you know when she was running, like she was running so fast that like me and my coworker paused, like was she wearing pants? Like what's going on, right?
Hey, yo.
And it was so funny because like you know there's a podium, right? So there's a guy that takes out the tickets, right? Yeah. And you know how like if you stop a robbery you get a reward, like you get money, right? Yeah. So this dumbass, I kind of want to set up for this, but this guy was like, oh, I'm trying to keep my mic close to me. He was there, right? And like he could have just threw the podium and blocked the whole way, and he could have got like reward money. He probably could have quit Cineplex, honestly. Yeah. But this dumbass was just there, like. And then like me and my coworker were like talking, like we're like dude, you're so stupid, like why don't you just throw the podium? You could have tripped them, you could have like they would have got caught. I mean the robbers got caught anyways, like as soon as they got out the door, like the police like tackled them down, and it was disgusting because like they had like the woman was wearing short shorts, right? And then the man was wearing I think just like a t-shirt, and you saw like the scrape of blood because like they tackled them down by the concrete, right? So it was pretty disgusting, but that was probably the most exciting like scenario I ever experienced in Cineplex, and I was like, and like it was funny because like me and my coworker, as soon as we heard freeze, like we like ducked, right? And like I felt bad because like the guy by the podium didn't even duck. He was just like he even like like, oh no, I gotta hide. He was just like as he lets like the robbers like, and the thing is he had so much time to react because like it was the whole theater, like it was the whole theater. So like they came from the mall, and like the guy's like running. He had like a good like 5 seconds to be like, oh shit, that's a robber, because he had like, his face covered and everything.
Yeah.
Covered, but yeah, that was a story, and that's a story I can never forget.
Yeah, no, there was like a active like shooting warning. It was essentially just a shootout outside of the mall. Yeah, and like essentially.
And keep in mind that the mall that Ronald's talking about is at the same place because there's a theater attached to the mall.
There's a theater attached to the mall. Yeah. So, me and Jason did like we don't really work in the same wings in the mall, but the shootout happened like near the theater. Yeah. And like obviously Jason said he called in sick the day, but like I was working that day, and dude, it was the craziest thing because like I think in that situation, like I saw like everyone's fight or flight response. There was like people crying. There was people trying to run out of the store. I'm like I literally told the people like, all right, this is your chance to get out. If you want to stay in the store and like be behind the gate, I'm closing the gate. And so like a couple people closed the gate, and then people were like yelling at me. He's like, let me out. And I'm like, bro, you told us to stay here.
Like, wait, this dress is kind of cute. I need to try it on. And he's like,
yo, bro, can you give me a discount?
I leave the gate open for like 5 more seconds. I just really need to try on these kicks, man.
Yeah, I got a coupon on my phone, bro.
It's not loading.
He has an expired coupon too. That's the thing, right?
There's like, and then there's like, so we have like a back door in our store, and the back doors are all alarmed in the mall. So all of the back doors in the mall are alarmed. Yeah. So someone like, cause I wouldn't let them out. I'm like, bro, the gate is closed. I'm not gonna unlock it, bro. Especially if there's like someone going facts, right? Yeah. So fucking this guy just like pushes open the gate, and then the alarm wouldn't go off, and like the alarm wouldn't shut off, and then I'm just like, and then one of the dudes was telling my female coworker at the time, he's like, bro, it's like okay, it's okay. You guys are handling this well. You guys are not trained for this.
This bitch was like, freedom! Like, dude, there's a shooter on the loose. Like, get the fuck inside. Are you dumb?
Literally.
I know, because like, I would say Andrew's a little more conservative. I know there was like one like pansexual employee at her place, and like I remember they went through a transition, right? And like they make fun of them oh did you assume my gender, and like they kind of like gaslight him. And I felt bad because this person, and like I kind of made fun of him too, but like before he went to the transition, but he has a really bad eyesight problem, right? I'm not gonna say their name, but like literally their eyesights are so bad that first of all they can't legally drive, and two, when they look at the screen for like taking the orders, they have to look like I'm not kidding, like
super
this,
close,
this close. I'm not exaggerating. It was literally this close, and like we like looked at them and it's like, and like when I first worked there, I was like is something wrong with him? Like, and then like one of the managers like, oh, he has a poor eyesight problem, right? So literally he recognizes people by their voices. He's like legally blind, right? Mm-hmm. But he they went to a transition at one point, and I remember just like he was pretty homophobic. Like, a lot of people were kind of just like making fun of him, and like that workplace was so, first of all, homophobic and racist too as well. Because I remember like there was one of my team leaders, because there's cast members and there's team leaders. One of my team leaders was a black woman, right? And she was like part of one of my favorites because she was hardworking and she was also just empathetic and like a nice person, right? But like I guess like one of the older, because like at Cineplex, like I guess you might see a lot of disabled people working at Cineplex because at a podium you can just like sit down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You can just
so there was just like this old white dude, and like he can walk, but he had like kind of a walking problem, and he's kind of that old white dude that he would probably be like fought in World War One. Like he's that old, like what I mean? Like he's like not actually, but he looks very old, right? And like
respect the grind, bro. Respect that.
he never applied for like the team leader position, so he was like in the same position as I was, right? Just the cast member, right? Yeah. But my black supervisor was a team leader, so she was above him, right? So she was trying to like, hey, like, do you mind cleaning up like this, right? And he calls her the N-word. He's like, and he just like and he just says it, right? And she was like, yo. And like literally like they brought up to manager, and manager did you shit about it, right? And like this was like before like the BLM stuff that happened and everything.
Like the whole
but the thing is, before they can even like address it and like and like, oh, we apologize, like the Cineplex like closed down because like COVID, right? And that's when like the BLM stuff started to rise up, right? Or like it was always there, but that's when it started to
it started to gain more traction.
Gain more traction, of course, right? So like literally like I'm pretty sure if like my supervisor brought that up to like the news or whatever, like that Cineplex would have been like canceled or shut down like frame one.
Legit. Frame one, baby.
Did she retaliate at all?
Nah, yo, she was so composed. Yeah, so
she could have pushed them.
Yeah.
No, she was. Well,
she would probably go.
I'm not gonna dox her name, but she has like 2 kids and stuff, and so she had to she had to use Cineplex for her main income, and like you know what I mean. So like obviously she was just like super mindful, and like she tried addressing it to like the general manager, but from what I understand, like nothing happened. Mm-hmm. The guy still works there, and I'm just like, damn man, this is a crackhead place. Yeah. But yeah, that place is super racist. I would never recommend anyone work there.
Do you remember like the melting pot of like really strong ethnic backgrounds at Tim's too?
Oh my god, yeah. So full disclosure, my brother's in the my brother's in the room. My brother's in the room beside us, so like he'll probably chime in as well. So me and my brother worked at the same Tim Hortons for the longest time. Even our cousin Michael, if you guys know who Mike is, shout out to Mike. He worked at the same Tim Hortons, and this Tim Hortons like literally only contained like 2 ethnicities, Filipino and like super immigrant Polish people, like straight from Poland, dude. And it's like
I did not expect that.
Right?
Of course, yeah.
And like so the manager was Polish, like super Polish. The manager and the owner were super Polish, and then like the people above us, like the boss, like the supervisors, the trainers, all that stuff were Filipino, right? Yeah. And you know how like Filipino women, especially when they're immigrants, how they get like super power trippy, especially when like they are managers and stuff. Oh my god, like I remember like being like an 18-19-year-old kid and like cleaning the bathroom almost every day, and that's why like I will never work fast food again because of like how bad
the washrooms,
how bad it was. Like obviously I was in a much nicer neighborhood, like I was near university, so like people would like be somewhat like okay, like obviously we would get like
they're all
rare,
depressed, so
like,
they can't have no energy to fight, like
exactly. We would get like the rare like drunk like frat boy, because like our Tim Hortons was really really close to
his parents paid for college, so he's kind of there for vibes,
right? But like other than that, like it was just like just working there just felt like really tiring. It's just like because you have to deal with like these super like bossy and like just not understanding Filipino like managers, and then like you also had to like deal with like super shitty customers, and it's just like I ran into like our big demographic at the Tim Hortons was white businessmen. So like obviously
business majors
when it's like when they come in, bro, they're like super fucking rude because like obviously maybe none of them have ever worked a part-time job in their life, and it's just like, man, like the amount of like kids and like the amount of just people that would like treat me like garbaggio, man. They would be like there obviously are regulars that would come in and be super nice, and like I'd always like love to like help them. Like I remembered a lot of people's orders like throughout like the 4 years that I worked there, or 3 years, I can't remember. It's been a long time. But
you want cream cheese in your coffee? Gotcha, buddy.
Cream cheese? I bet. I got
but like there was just a lot of rude people. Like there was a lot of people who would like cuss you out, who would like tell you like, who would say like low key like racist things like, oh, these fucking Filipinos can't get like my order right, and it's like, damn, bro.
I feel that.
I have some stories about that.
It's like, dude, I'm right here.
Yeah, so I feel that too. Like, fucking. So there was this one time. This is not like really like a rude customer, but it was just like a crazy situation. So it was like, I think it was like a night shift, like not like overnight shift, but it was like pretty late at night, like 10 p.m. And usually at that time at this McDonald's that I worked at, like it's usually pretty quiet, right? So I'm just like chilling. There's like 3 people working, one in the kitchen, one in front, one in the drive-thru, and then one person cleaning, right? And there was this guy who came in. I don't know if he was drunk or high or both.
There's a lot of people drunk at that McDonald's.
Yeah.
No power, drunk.
The McDonald's you worked at was like flat, like right in the middle of the hood.
Crackhead Central.
It's middle of the hood.
There's a ratchet tier. It'd be Crack Max and then Vince's McDonald's. Like
yeah.
right here.
No. That's where I built my character, bro.
Discipline.
But anyway, so yeah, there was this guy who came in, and I don't know, he was being rude or whatever. And there was this one lady, and shout out to Eric. I think he knows who I'm talking about. There was this one like, I think she was Chinese lady. She was kind of like very rude to like us too. Like she was just not enjoyable to work with. But she got into like a disagreement with this guy, and it turned into like a straight up like a verbal fight. And this guy actually like, because you know how in McDonald's there's like a common area and then like the crew area.
Yeah.
And like apparently I guess like he started chasing her.
What the fuck?
And then she went into like the crew area, so like the front or like the fries and the drive-thru at. I was just like chilling there, and then I see this lady running down the stairs to the crew, and the guy followed her all the way down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I can't wait to clock out.
That's so, when you look the moment when you look at your watch and you're like, man, when is my shift over?
I've experienced that where like there's some bullshit that happens and I'm just like, you know, I'm out in 5 minutes. Like if I start now, like I wash my hands, I put my jacket on. Like I feel like I can't address this, right? So I always like take bullshit. Like I remember there was so basically we had like fruit flies in one of our soda machines, right? Ugh. So ironically, one of the manager I was like the black supervisor I was talking about, who's very nice, she like I'm pretty sure there was mold there because it smelled too, right? And she and like when I walked in, I remember I clocked in one time and she got sick and she like, you know, like had to leave, right? And so there was just like fruit flies, right? And so the manager, what they did is that they called inspection, and inspection was like, yeah, you guys need to do a better job of cleaning it. And then he just like left, like he didn't he's like
yeah, so job guys.
And, like my general manager was like yeah, like because a lot of it was funny because at the same time I know another like assistant manager was like handing out surveys of like what do you think we can improve on, right? And everyone was talking about like the sanitary protocols, right? And then the general manager was like, yeah, like we called in the health inspector, like the exterminator, right? And they just said, yeah, just do a better job of cleaning. You know what I mean? So what they did to problem solve it is that they put, you know, those little like things you hang and the little sticky things and the flies just stick there. Yeah. And they get stuck and they just die, right? Yeah. So what they did is that they just like hung a bunch of those fly traps in on the soda machine, right? Like in the bottom, because it was on the bottom tubing area, right? And then and they kept it in there for like maybe a week, and then eventually when they noticed the flies start to go away, they just closed the cabinet, like the bottom part, put it back together. And like, all right, you can guys use the soda machine again. Like, it's good to go.
Moral of the story: never get soda.
And like, I was like,
yeah, bro, never get soda at that Cross Iron Cineplex, man.
and like, I always wondered because like, we just so happened that the health inspector didn't come like while that was happening. But you know, they came after, right? And like the health inspector like checked like outtakes because you know like Cineplex has the concession, the popcorn, everything, and it has outtakes like the food area.
Like the food, yeah.
And he was so like thorough with like all of the outtake stuff, like, oh, this is disgusting and you guys do better. And like, you know, he was like kind of ripping them apart. But when it came to the concession, he like opened up a few things. He was like, all right, you guys are good. But like the soda machine wasn't concession, right? So I was like, jeez. Yeah, the guy just like, okay, like, yeah, just make sure you guys take care of your outtakes. All right, I'm going, clocking out. And I was like, this is a like a safety hazard. Because like a lot of employees got sick. And so like, we just have to deal with that. It's like, okay, well, I guess we just have to deal with mold. Like they're just, yeah, but that was,
Bro, okay, I have a story for you guys. Okay, so, when I was working at this Tim Hortons, I literally tried to find an excuse to like not work at that Tim Hortons. Like, even though like I was paid to be there, I was like trying to find.
I remember you had competition, like we both had dance competitions, right? And you're like, hey, I need to book this day off, and you're like, no, and you're like, okay, well, I'm taking it off anyway. See ya.
Yeah, literally. Bye. Like, I didn't care about those. Like, shake my hand, man. Okay, my hand. There's this one time I was working there. This is probably, like, around the end of, like, my time working at Tim Hortons because I think eventually I just got fed up and I was like, man, I need to find a new job. So, like, I just eventually ended up quitting. But this is before I quit. So, there's a manager I really, really liked, and she was like super, because she was super nice, super accommodating. Like I was like one of her favorite workers in there.
Just human.
That. So yeah, so she's essentially just a human. So there was this one time, I had like 2-3 hours left on my shift, right? And she was like, hey, are you busy? And I'm like, no, I'm just like kind of like running drive-through or whatever, like just doing like regular fucking part-time shit. Like just being a regular Tim Hortons worker. And she's like, hey, do you want to wash my car? And I was like, fuck? I thought about it. I was like, drive through or washing my boss's car? I was like, yeah, bet I'm gonna wash your car.
Bro.
So she brought it around and like this, like, you know, like the cleaner that like you use like to fill the mop bucket and stuff like that. Essentially, that's all I did. I fucking filled the mop bucket up with cleaner. I'm like, for the last 3 hours of my shift, I'm just with a sponge. I'm just washing my boss's car.
That's the most immigrant and ratchet shit I've ever heard.
And I'm like, this beats working, cause I could take my time. I was like able to listen to music and like do whatever, and like I was like, man, this beats fucking working the drive-through. And they're like, oh, Ronald, we need help in the drive-through, and I'm like, no, I'm doing
my
this.
boss has to wash a car.
Yeah, my manager said
that. I did it like more than once. Like I did it a couple times, and then I remember the owner coming in.
Oh no!
And she was like, "Why are you washing her car?" And I'm like,
"Oh yeah, because he's at the Tim Hortons hat, right? You're at the Tim Hortons outfit."
Yeah. I'm like, "Why are you washing a car?" And I'm like,
I can just imagine the general, like the owner, coming in to check out his place. He's like, "Oh, why is one of the employees washing a car outside? Like, is that your car?"
I was just like. Hey, yo, that's just how it is. And
it's a wash and go, bro.
She's like, if you want to keep your job, you better go back and start working. And I was like, I bet. And then like literally like the month after I quit. Oh my god. And that's how I like used to like get out of like just working. Like sometimes I would take like 30 to 45 minutes in the bathroom because like I would just like scroll on my phone because like I didn't want to work. Like, man,
I took a lot of shits in Cineplex.
Yeah, like just
especially
working,
when we're dead. Yeah,
literally working at a part-time job is like so tiring, especially if you work it for a long time. Especially like the fast food industry, like whether it's Cineplex, McDonald's, A&W, Tim Hortons, wherever you work. Like, it's just like you try to find anything to like waste time and like get through your shift faster because it's just the same like thing over and over again. And it's just. I don't know. It like mentally drains you, and you're just like,
and you're physically drained as well because I do remember, like in
you deal with people, you gotta de-escalate.
You gotta deal with people, and you're always like it's fast paced, right? So you're always running around.
It's a fast paced environment, which means toxic. That's a keyword.
Toxic. Literally.
Okay, so this is why I don't get about like minimum wage jobs. So whether you're working at a till or working a drive-through, if you're just taking orders, why the fuck can't I sit down, bro? Like,
literally straight facts, bro.
Okay, so like all I'm doing in like so in McDonald's we had like most fast food places have the
two drive-through windows.
Two windows.
Yeah.
So the first window is where you take orders and pay, right? You're not like handling any food or whatever, right? Why can't I have a chair, bro? I'm just taking orders and taking people's money. I like when you're there for like 8 hours, you're literally standing and just like my knees, bro.
Really?
Like after every shift, my knees. And maybe it's just because I'm old, but my knees.
No,
Bro, is fucking.
especially when I was dancing too, like I stretched like because you had to stretch, right?
Yeah.
Even no, and like in some places they did that too. I don't know if you noticed, like, you ever been to Sunrise recently, where like there's no chairs anymore for the employees to sit.
Yeah.
Now you use self serve, and usually there's a person standing. So like, and it's weird because like Cineplex has always been good as accommodating like disabled folk, right? So they always accommodate folks who like can't stand, right? So they have lots of chairs, right? And for some reason, like, I don't know if it was head office or it was the management of the specific Cineplex I was working at, but they felt like that they got lazy, because they sat on the chair so they wouldn't help. It's like, dude, they're literally in front of a desk. The customers just go up. Sorry, the guests, because they get mad if we call them customers. But the dumb fucks have to come over and be like, hey, like, can I buy a ticket, right? And like like, of course, like, they're there. They're in front of the till. Like, I don't mind helping. But I guess like I don't know what the rationale was, but they just like felt like everyone needs to stand. Another thing is that this dumbass like new. So like you know how you're not supposed to be on your phone during work, right?
Yeah.
So like I keep my phone in my pocket at all times. Ever since that whole incident of like the robber.
Literally.
Yeah, because like if one of them had a gun, I could like kind of duck between concession and just call 911 and then leave it on speaker. I'm like, oh, please here, please like pin my location and find me, whatever.
Yeah.
But this one dumbass like new employee, like, so like during tickets there was like a huge lineup, and like instead of helping the people tickets, he was just on his phone like a dumbass. So literally we lost. So now like if there's a bulge in our pockets, we can get a write up. Like we can get in trouble for having a phone in our pocket. Like,
That's
and like
fucked.
That's
like,
fucked.
I remember like literally like and like I never got caught. I took my phone anyways because like, are you gonna search me? Are you gonna touch my dick? Like what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? I don't care. But I know a lot of my coworkers were getting in trouble because like they had, of course, like you have the fucking iPhone big ass, like like the one that's thick, right? And back then I had like a HTC, and it was like very thin, so like, it can kind of hide, especially if you're wearing like baggy dress pants and stuff. But like I remember like people getting in trouble for having just a phone in their pockets because the one dumbass like ruined it for everyone.
That's fucking stupid.
And like it's like, dude, like what if there's an emergency? I know like you're not supposed to have your phone, but like that was that one dumbass that just did it, right? Like he was a new employee, right? And he was kind of like a socially awkward like kid, right? But any sensible person, if there's like a customer, like, oh shit, I'll put my phone away, and then they'll serve the customer. It's very sensible. But for some reason, like one person ruined it, so then like the whole staff had to be punished, and I thought that was such a dumbass. So like we had to stand all day. We couldn't sit. Even if like we're dead and like if there's nothing to do, like, oh, make sure you ask me and I'll find you something to do. It's like, I'm not gonna ask you dumb shit to find you something to do. Like that's
the one thing I never.
And like but the thing is, like, I was a pretty good employee. Like I would do like extra things to clean stuff, but sometimes like there would be literally nothing to do, and like the manager like, so what you doing? And she would always ask me that in that tone, and I was like, I'm standing here. And I was like, look at her, right? And so she expected me to be like, I'm working, right? But no, I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, I'm standing here. And like, well, next time, if you can't find something to do, knock on my office and I'll find something for you to do, right? And like, she was so fucking like inattentive. And like, it almost like, and I've noticed this not just in Cineplex, but in like other fast food places, is like management. I find the most insecure management in like fast food part-time jobs. 100%, yeah. My current job that pays way more, like every boss, or like, of course, like not everyone's perfect, but they're just like, hey, like, how are you? And they just talk to you like a normal human being. But like,
literally. Yeah.
Every part-time job, like whether it's Quiznos or like Cineplex or like all my peers that work at like part-time jobs, there's always like some weird insecure person that probably like had to work McDonald's and now they're spiteful and they're taking out on like young teens, like a loser.
I think now that I have like a that I work like as an EAT and I have a manager, like it's kind of weird that they treat me as like a person, like
right.
No, they ask me like because usually in
what do you do in your free time, like
in our one-on-ones, right? They're like, oh, like, how are you doing? And I immediately talk about like my work, and then after I say that, And then they ask me like, "Oh, what else is going on here?" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, you want to know?
They're like, what else is going on in your life other than
I
work?
don't know how to respond to this.
I've never been treated like a human in the workplace.
I've never been treated that. But no, like our management at McDonald's was I think it was like the one exception because like there were some of them were like super chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like
oh yeah,
if
you have some.
if it was like like not busy, like they would be the first ones. Like literally on their phone, FaceTiming their family.
Their family, bro.
Their tito and tita just like.
Well, like I mean, if it's slow, then we just like clean, like wipe down the counters and stuff, and just like
I
can't do
chill,
this for hours. But
right?
so like we just chill. We like talk and stuff. Like actually, it was pretty chill environment. But when it's busy, it's just like it's so mentally tiring because it's
draining,
like
bro. Yep.
That's when like the managers kind of show their true colors because they ask you for stuff that's like not physically possible. Like I'm pouring coffee and I'm like, why can't you do this fast? I'm like, bro, I only have 2 hands. I'm taking orders. I'm pouring coffee. I'm stirring it. Like one thing I learned at McDonald's is like you can pour coffee and stir at the same time and take orders at the same time. So you hit the thing, you speak to the customer, you pour coffee in one hand, you stir in one hand.
Multitasking, bro.
Yo, so this is some tea at McDonald's. So if we're lazy, right? So and the fries are kind of there, just like laying there. They've been there for like fucking 20 minutes, right? And usually we do this to people who like are sassy about asking for fresh fries.
Yeah.
We just put the like old fries back into the fryer, put them in the oil for like a couple seconds. Until they're bubbling, and then put them again, put the salt, and then there's your fresh fries.
Here you go, man.
I mean, you're not supposed to be eating. They're shit for you anyway. So
they're shit for you. Yeah. And then also, I was talking about the McDonald's hack, right, with your fries, and a couple of my friends are like, "Why do you do this? It's so pointless." But this is how you get fresh fries every time. It's a pain for them, but it's what you ask, man. Customer's always right. Exactly. Shake my hand. So ask for fries with no salt, and then put the salt in yourself. Because if you ask for no salt, they have to drop a new basket of fries every time. Because like the fries are already in like the hot like the serving area. They've immediately as they come out of the oil, they put salt. So like if they ask for no salt, you can't serve those fries, right? So you get fresh fries. They're hot, and you can put salt on them after if you want.
This man's a caveman. So like when the first time I saw that, like literally, I was so disappointed in Vince, but also I was like,
Bro, it worked.
But like the thing is, you're not even mindful about it. And this was at his McDonald's, so this is like the one he was working at, right? So we were together and we wanted to eat, right? So it was like, and I don't even think you were working that day, but you just like came in and you're like, hey, can I get fries with no salt? And I'm pretty sure your coworkers knew what the fuck you're doing, and like they serve you some fries without any salt, and like you put the salt out in front of them, like you didn't even go to your table. You were like, oh yeah, you put salt because like you don't want to make them feel shitty, but you were like, you weren't even making a face. You're like so chill, like you were just like, and you were like talking, and you're like, yeah, like my day was great, and like you're just putting salt in your fries, like, and like the employees are looking at you like Vince, you asshole. But it is a good hack. Like if you want fresh fries, yeah.
Also, I would advise you guys to like, I don't know. Personally, me, I don't really like to go to like Tim Hortons to get coffee as much anymore because of like a lot of the processes that they do, especially like eating the food there. Like their chili comes like frozen in a bag and it comes as a chunk. Like so what you do is with the Tim Hortons chili is you heat like essentially you heat like a boiling pot of water. And then you just dump the cube of chili into water, and then you stir it, and then you cover it. You wait a specific amount of time, and then you serve.
I'm pretty sure Simplex Outtakes does it. Because the thing is, I was smart because after I worked at Quiznos and like I cleaned the shit. So if you don't know, in concession there's like 4 or I think 5. So there's ticket booths. So there's box. Yeah. There's concession, which is like popcorn. There's floor, which is bathrooms and cleaning the feeders. There's outtakes, which is like the food, the actual food. Yeah. And there's escape, which is the games, right? Yeah. I only got training concession, and like all the new employees, like as soon as they get training one thing, they're like, oh, I want to get trained in this, like so they get more shifts and get more money. But the thing is, like when I worked at Cineplex, I always had a second job, whether it was a dance job or some kind of nonprofit job. Yeah, so like I always like this was just extra cash for me, so I had no intention of like trying to clean bathrooms, right? So like, you know, as I see the new employee like trying to clean like the bathrooms, they're like, or like they want to get trained floor, like yeah, like so I can get more shifts and stuff, and then like you know they go up to me like I wish I didn't get trained floor. I'm cleaning shit right now. I was like.
Shake my hand.
Shake my hand. But yeah, about the chili, yeah, like a lot of the times, like it's just the boiling hot water, and then they put like a little tin, and then they put like the frozen whatever, and then they tap it off, and then like it's like, gourmet hungry man, like yeah, and
bro, and like all soups at Tim Hortons are all made the same way. Chicken noodle comes in a packet, like it's literally like a packet you rip open and you pour.
Yeah, you can probably buy that at like superstore.
It's like, literally, it's fucking like the Lipton chicken.
Yeah, Lipton.
Soup,
no, it's
Mr. Noodles.
Yo, Lipton chicken noodle. Lipton chicken noodle soup kind of slaps though.
I love it.
You add eggs, some veggies, bro.
What's it called? The eggs like from Tim Hortons, like a lot of their eggs are like just like straight up frozen egg patties, and they got like. Yeah, bro, and they got like all you do is you put them on a tray. No, you line it with paper, you put it on a tray, and then you nuke it in the oven for like 30 minutes, and you pull it out, ready to serve, baby.
The thing is, like sometimes, like you can see that because like they have the little trays, like and some I don't know about yours, but I know some Tim Hortons you can see them make it on the spot.
You can see the oven, like you can see where the
oven you can see it.
Is that the scrambled egg, like the? Is it like
it's every single egg?
Jesus.
At Tim Hortons.
Bro, I've been eating that every morning.
Yo, dude, it's got like, and it's kind of crazy because it's got like, I didn't realize this. It's got onions and like vegetables in it, and I didn't know it was. Like,
that's the season. Yeah, that's the way to season it. Yeah.
Wait, Kuya, you've never been a baker at Tim's?
No, I have. Like, there's a couple of times where I was a baker, and dude, like, when you're so. At Tim Hortons, if you work there long enough, you either become like a baker, or like you learn other stuff. It's kind of like when Jason was talking about Cineplex, right? Yeah. So I got trained in a lot of things. And,
there's different areas.
And bro, the fucking donuts are all frozen. You just fucking nuke the donuts.
Same with McDonald's.
You nuke the donuts in the oven.
That's why it's fast food, right?
And then you just like fucking, and then you fill it up with the cream, and then dip it in like the whatever shit and stuff like that. And it's like. We try to keep it pretty sanitary, but like obviously there's going to be like, especially like if it's one person being overworked the whole time, especially during the night. That's why you never get food, like especially like places like Tim's or like stuff that does morning service at like get their food at night, because it's disgusting. It's absolutely gross. Like
it's gross.
It's just one sweaty dude in the back fucking like dripping all his sweat all over the fucking donuts and all over the fucking food, and he's serving you the same shit. Yo, literally. And it's just like, and half the time that dude was me, man. Like during the night shift, I'm fucking like drenched in my own sweat.
I just had rehearsal.
Yo, literally, fucking coming from dance rehearsal, dripped in sweat, and I'm just like,
I just danced for 3 hours and got shit on.
Fucking wrapper's wet, not because of the moisture, but because of my fucking hands, bro.
Damn, that's the frozen egg thing really gets me, because like. At least at McDonald's, like
they like
you crack the egg, and you cook it, like and that's fine, right? And
that's why I like McDonald's better.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff at McDonald's, like it is cheap, but it's like cooked properly.
Yeah, it's it's like fresh ingredients, like, even though they're GMOs and shit. But
but like most of the stuff is still frozen, but like not. Like the fucking egg patties, bro. That's disgusting, man.
Yeah. No,
that's stuff you get to the military.
Also, cream. So whenever you go to Tim Hortons, I don't know if you'll like change your stance on cream, but we never clean the cream machines. Like
I believe that.
And there's like icy mold that like happens in the cream machines because of like how like much it's not been cleaned and like how cold it is, right? And then also like the cream bags, like if we don't sometimes like people like if they don't use it like the whole day, sometimes they'll just replace it. Sometimes they'll just take the cream, they'll like dump out the remnants of the cream, they'll put it in a cup, and then like they'll put like the cream that's in the cup in your coffee.
Oh yeah, we did that at McDonald's too.
Yeah, it's so gross, dude, because it like the cream just sits there.
It just sits there. Sometimes like I check expiry dates, but not everyone does.
No, not everyone.
Not everyone does.
Bro.
So
not everyone.
There's this one story where I had to replace the lettuce at in the kitchen, right? And I was like, okay, let's check the box. it's been expired for 2 days, bro. So I looked at it, I was like, yo, there's like brown pieces of lettuce. I'm like, you guys are really gonna like, who put this here? Like, you did not check this.
Usually you rotate it so that
you
the
rotate
first come,
it,
first
yeah,
out.
first in,
first in, first out.
Yeah.
I remember being like a stock boy for Tim Hortons a couple times, and I remember like pulling out like cream cheese out from the back of the fridge and like opening some of the packages.
I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese.
There's like
blue cheese.
Like it's like molded and there's like liquid floating around. You're just like,
yeah, the thing with the cream, like I think that's why sometimes when I order like coffee or something, sometimes it's hit or miss whether I get a bad reaction.
I'm really
because when I get a really bad reaction, I'm like, this is expired cream, isn't it?
no cat. I'm like, damn man, like this is the cream that you fucking like used in the morning and just didn't bother replacing.
And I'm lactose intolerant too. So. All right, I guess let's move on to another topic. I feel like I don't know if like we get told this still like in part-time jobs, but you know, like saying like the customer is always right.
Fuck that saying.
Oh,
they
fuck
are
that saying,
not.
Fuck
never
that saying.
right, bro.
Okay. Especially during COVID. I think
during COVID.
Yeah, I think I was out of the three of us, I think I'm the only one who still has like a part-time job. In like retail and like and just
in that space,
I quit retail. I was nonprofit. Right? That's it.
And like, dude, the amount of times that like people like just didn't want to wear a mask. People didn't want to fucking
wear like this,
like sanitize their hands. Didn't want to like, and like people like try to do returns on clothes that like, and we specifically tell them, bro, I'm not gonna return that piece of underwear because underwear is final sale, dog. Ain't no one want to wear underwear you wore, bro.
You rub your nutsack on that underwear. I know you rubbed your nutsack on that.
Legit. And
you
like,
put it in. You're
like, you gave yourself a for ladies and guys.
It's a cum rag, I swear.
Right? Yeah. Like, it just makes sense. Like,
some people don't give a fuck.
What I also didn't understand is why the retail place that I worked at, like, you could try on swimsuits. And then like
in the dressing room,
yeah. And if you were done with it, you just hang them back up. And I was just like, like, and like the justification for it was because they had protective film on like the things. So like where the private parts area was, like they just have protective film. And I'm like trying to like hang this shit back up like on the hangers, and I'm just like I like didn't want to touch it at all.
I never buy like underwear that's out. It has to be packaged. Like so I always buy like Bronx Reason packages because I know that because like there's usually when you go to change rooms there's always a sign like, oh, make sure you wear your undergarments when trying out like swimwear underwear, right? But I know there's like some dude who comes out with a bush and just like puts it on raw, and he probably has like pee and poo stains there, like. And I know there are people like that, so I purposely always buy packaged underwear because of that. Yeah,
that's smart actually. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, but back to like the customer is always right. I think especially during COVID, like that has not been like not true, like more than ever. Cause it's like there's so many people that come in ignorant and like just like straight abusive to like these teenagers and like young adults who are working these jobs, and it's just like, bro, we know the store policy, we know like what's going on. Yeah. If anything, the manager's probably gonna tell you the same thing. Our assistant manager's probably going to tell you the same thing. They're probably training us to tell you this is what we should say. So it's like I like don't understand it.
I got a death threat. I mentioned that earlier. Yeah. So like kind of follow back on this. Yeah. So apparently like at Cineplex, you're not allowed to give refills in like any capacity, right?
Yeah.
And so the real reason is because they're cheap as fuck. But what I'm supposed to tell all the customers is like, hey, we don't give refills because it's unsanitary for like because you're bringing your cup in or whatever.
Stuff,
It wasn't even COVID, just like it was just unsanitary, right? But it doesn't make any sense because we're allowed to refill water, and we also handle money like while we serve their food, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. So it's
that's
like,
even more unsanitary.
And it's funny. It's funny because like one of my managers, like one of the racist manager, was even got in an argument with one of the customers, and she like made a good point. It's like, well, like this like. Money touches cocaine strippers. Like, why can't like I get a refill on this drink, right? And like she had a good point, and like like the manager just wasn't having it, and like kind of not really cussed her out, but like was like rude about it, and like they ended up like having attention. But anyway, to like the death threat was like there was this dude who was like I guess like like a little bit of a Chad, not really Chad, but just like very inflated ego kind of thing. But the thing is, like, he wasn't even that, like, he's probably, like, smaller than you, I would say, honestly. He wasn't even that built. And, like, he got a drink, and he asked for refill. I was like, oh, sorry, like, we don't do any refills, right? And he's like, what do you mean you don't do refills? I'm like, yeah, like, we don't do any refills. Like, you can buy another drink, and I can give you another drink, but unfortunately, we just don't do refills. And it's what I tell anyone. And specifically, I don't give refills when there's, like, specifically 3 managers working, and those are the most inattentive. Sometimes I give refills because, like, you know, if there's no manager around, and, like, you know, like, it's like, dude, it's fucking stupid, I know, just take the fucking drink, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he asked to speak to the manager, right? And the manager's like, hey, sorry, like, we don't do refills because of sanitary reasons, blah blah. She gave, like, the textbook spiel, right? And then, like, he kept, and then, like, she left, and he kept bothering, like you're like, yo, like, can you just give me a refill? I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Like, just do it, man. You like just do it. And I was like, sorry, like, I'm not, can you, like, why, like, me, like, just take my cup and just do it. I was like, no. And I just said straight up no. I didn't even, like, give a reason. I was like, no. And he's like, you want to go outside? And I, like, you know, and, like, he was mumbly, right? And so I was like, I was making fun of him, right? Because, like, my manager was gone. So I was like, what does this mean? Like, what are you trying to do? I was like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass, right? And so I said, like, I'm going to call security because this is a threat, right? He's like, go ahead, call security, right? And then so I was like, okay. So then I grabbed my walkie-talkie and, like, I went in the manager. And the moment I turn around, this dude is gone. I'm like, this man called me a pussy, and look at him just fucking running like a coward. My goodness. Anyway, but, like, what would bother me is that, like, literally, like, I told my manager, but, like, yeah, like, you know, he threatened to beat my ass because I wouldn't give him a refill, right? Yeah. And my manager was like, you know, like, oh, like, and she was like doing, like, protocol, like, do you feel safe? Like, do you need someone to walk you to your car? And I was like, you know what? Sure, because it was closing, and, like, you know, if he sees me, like, he can just jump me. Cause, like, you know what I mean. And, like, he's with the group, right? So I didn't want to get jumped, right? And I remember, like, I don't know his fucking, like, this. It was this white dude. I know, and I don't mean to dox their name, but, like, he was dating this a little Filipina in a Cineplex, but it was this white dude, right? And, like, you know, we talk about toxic masculinity, right? Where, like, he was like, oh, like, you need someone to walk you to your car, right? And he was, like, making fun of me, and I was like, oh my god, you fucking white ass dumbass, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, because I, like, the manager just asked, like, if I needed something to walk. I was like, you know, yeah, like, I'll take it. Like, I don't want to get jumped, you know what I mean? And, like, whatever. And, like, this kid was, like, making fun of me because for, like, you know, for, like, yeah, like, just, like, asking for help. I was like, dude, you are the most, and, like, you know how I talk about this where, like, I think you're a fucking sheep if you're like that, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh my gosh. And, like, you know, it sucks because, like, his girlfriend is such a nice girl. Like, she's, like, so nice. And I was like, damn, why are you dating this asshole? But, like, yeah. And, like, you know, I'm not going to dox their name, but, like, I feel like if she watches it, she might know who it is. But I'm just saying that your boyfriend's an asshole if you're watching this. Like, I'm just going to say that.
Shots fired.
Like, fuck that guy. It's so hard. Like, honestly, I was like, dude, like, I'm just asking for help like a normal human being. Like, it's and, like, I guess he had a very like heteronormative, like, you know, alpha male stuff. So I was like, I was kind of annoyed because I was like, oh my gosh, this fucking sheep of a human being has, like, you know, I just asked for help. Like, I got a death threat. Like, usually if someone's, like, kind of in, like, distress, like, hey man, like, are you okay? But he just, like, making fun of me, and I was like, and, like, yeah, that whole situation was toxic. But yeah, like, I literally got, like, the guy, like, threatened to, like, kick my ass, like, for a refill, and I was like, dude, like,
a refill. There are more.
I got your manager. My manager said no. My manager's still there looking at me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, like, I'm not giving you a refill. And this dude's, like, threatening to kick my ass, and, like, and I was like, there's 4 cameras above us right now. Like, what do you want from me? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. No, it's just like a lot of the issues that they raise is, like, common sense, but
literally.
But it's a lot of common sense issues.
But they think, like, since you're a minimum wage worker, that you're too dumb, or, like, you're too below them, that they can just push you to get whatever they want, right? And it's kind of like, bro, like, for example, for me, right? Not
I also pissed the guy off because I was like, because he like you want to go outside, and, like, because he was mumbling, I was like. And I was purposely making fun of him because I knew he meant he wanted to take it outside. Yeah. But, like, because I want him to directly do the threat so I can call security because like he didn't want to say it. So I was like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And, like, so I was trying to rile him up. And so when he threatened me, I was like, okay, I now have permission to call security. Because I was like, I know exactly what you're doing and you're trying not to get in trouble, but I'm gonna fucking, like, you know.
So I got you, bitch.
You gotta eat that. You gotta eat that, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just like with the common sense thing, like how they think you're so below them because you're a minimum wage worker, right?
Yeah.
There are some instances where I just, like, wanted to respond, like, I know you look super dumb, and I'm like studying chemical engineering. I'm probably smarter than you, bro. I can,
Honestly, facts, 100%.
but I like had to hold it in because I was like, you fucking idiot. I'm just not gonna say anything because like I don't want to lose my job, right? And it's gonna look bad on me. There were a lot of times where I had to box out customers, bro. Holy fuck.
Actually, put up them hands, bro. Like, come here.
Oh, snap.
You know when you're working drive-through, right? And they drive past first window, dude. There was some times where I was so pissed where I was just like, fucking shake the window. I was like, oh my god, yo, I want to kill this guy, but no, it's just like the customer's always right. No, they're not. Most of the time, they're wrong. But you don't want to piss them off because they're.
The thing is, like,
It doesn't even matter, bro.
You know
like,
how I mentioned? You know how I mentioned the cheese girl, right? Or like her rationale is like, oh, but like if you argue enough, like they'll get exhausted and they'll just give in. I was like, this is the most fucked up rationale.
That's so toxic, bro.
Like that is
so
like
toxic,
you are the most like,
so toxic.
and like it was annoying because like obviously she doesn't work. She never worked like a part-time job or like any fast food capacity. And I was like, and it's funny because this person also like has a psych degree, and I was like, how do you study human behavior and not have empathy for people? Like, are you dumb? Like, you know, and like you know. Because it's one of those things where like, and you know this because it's like a human behavior because like it happens to kids, right? When kids like don't get what they want, they start throwing a tantrum and they start like, you know, whatever. And you see that in grown adults, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you like I don't endorse like you know hitting your kids. Like I understand the aftermath of that. Like I know it does have some effects, but like sometimes I'm like, you know, I kind of wish your mom just beat you with a chancla. Like just like grab like you know stick it out like
bro, and just fucking
because like
the Walis, bro.
Some people like really like they never been told no, and they're so stuck up that like if they don't get their way, they start like getting emotionally and they take it personally. And I'm just like, dude, I'm literally reading the policy that I did in my training. I'm not like antagonizing you, but they unload on you. Like if you're the antagonist, I'm like, bro, I'm just following policy. And like, you know, some of them like, I know you don't make the policy, but and like, you know, but I don't think it's fair. It's like, okay, if you know I don't make the policy, then stop unloading on me. Like ask for a manager because I don't want to deal with the shit. You know?
I actually responded to a few people that way. Like I responded to them like, yo, I just work here. And then if you don't agree with it, then, you know, my manager's right there.
That's what I would say because I'm like, I don't want to do this.
You could email head office, but I just work here. I get paid minimum wage while you're unloading on me.
Yo, like
I get paid to put down the fucking fries, bro, and take your order.
Yo, literally, dude.
I don't make the policy.
Whenever someone comes at me, bro, I'm always just like in the most chill voice. I'm like, it's just store policy, man.
It is what it is.
The thing is, like,
and they get so angry. I'm just like, and they're like off the rails, and I'm just like, sorry, man.
You can't tell them how stupid they are because you had to be like a good employee, right?
You have to be a good employee.
So they're losing their cool and like, I'm like, oh, can I get anything else for you? Right?
Yo, literally.
Like you fucking slut whore, and like, would you like butter with that? Like, you know, you had to, like,
the passive aggressive response is the best, bro. It gives me so much satisfaction.
Like they're like going off, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, man. If you don't agree with store policy, like there's another store like, like
such as life.
Like,
to finish off this point, like customers always are like being nice to minimum wage workers. Like, not everyone who works minimum wage job is like fucking dumbass. Like,
it's a part time to pay for something that's for the greater.
Yeah. And it's not always part time. Some people work full time. Like I know a lot of like parents, single parents, or even
my
like grandmothers, grandfathers who work part time. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like I think like just these people also deserve, like, because they're people, right? They deserve respect.
They're people.
Yeah, they're people. So like even though they make less than you or they work this low end job, doesn't mean they deserve your disrespect, right? So it's just like, just be nice to people.
Be nice to them, man.
Yeah, I remember there was. And sorry, I know I'm bringing up this point again, but just as a small point, I remember this guy asked like, oh, what's the difference between the prices between the small and the medium? And I was like, oh, there's a 50-cent difference. And like before I can finish my sentence, like I didn't ask that. I asked if like, what's the difference with the price? And I was like, dude, like get that dildo out of your asshole right now and stop being that. Let me speak, like, because end of the day, like you're talking to human beings, like they are in service, like that's their job, in service. But their job is not to fucking psychoanalyze you or to be, like, you know, de-escalate you. You know what I mean? They're just there to give you your food and to be on and have you on your merry way. They're not there to coddle you. They're not there to micromanage you. And like, it's annoying as fuck because some people like literally are so spoiled that like they feel like people just owe them that. It's like, dude, I'm paying minimum wage. I don't need to tolerate this. So that's So like, literally, and I know that I noticed that like frame one. So literally, if there's any like hostility, I'm just like, do you want to speak to my manager? Like, I always prompt it because I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm getting paid like minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot of negative points about part-time jobs. So, and let's end on a positive. Is there any
Money.
positive things
That's all. That's all I can
about
say.
part-time jobs or like working a minimum wage job?
I think personally, working like a minimum wage job, it helps you like
This
I think
character.
it builds character, and it helps you connect with like
Facts.
people you wouldn't usually like, especially coworkers. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
would have never connected with you or became friends with you if it wasn't for me working this job.
Yeah.
Right. And like a lot of like the most interesting people that I've like met in my life have been from like part-time jobs that I've worked, and like, you know, I enjoy a lot of their company when I do hang out with them. I also think it does like build character too. Like it helps me like be a lot more resilient. Like know how to not take enough,
De-escalate.
like, not
De-escalation
know how to like
skills.
take shit from anyone, right?
Yeah.
And like even knowing just my self-worth when it comes to like applying for jobs, like now that we're like adults, like applying for like jobs and internships and stuff like that, and even like when I graduate, like all that other stuff. And it's just like, I think it's like, now that I've gone through like the bottom of the barrel, I can only go up.
Oh,
and
it's
that's a
only
good
up from
feeling.
here.
Going up from here. Another thing I want to bring up is that I feel like part-time jobs, like specifically like the fast food, retail, and all those jobs, they really help you empathize with customer service
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big thing, because even like, and was it, like I literally was with Karen yesterday, and she was telling me about, oh gosh, hopefully, well, her boss is not gonna watch this, but she was at a work trip, right? And so, you know, there are people that clean your cabin, but the thing is, like, it's not a vacation, right? And so it's a work trip, right? So, and some people kind of just like, you know, leave their room like shit. They don't really care about like who's coming to clean, right? But I feel like, especially when you work like jobs that are in service of other people, you start to really empathize. So, like, when you're eating, you like throw your food, you like put the tray back, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you tidy up your room, you put all your stuff in like one corner, so it's easier for the cleaner to come in, makes their job easier, and also a lot quicker, so they're not spending so much time cleaning in your room. Just like, it just lets you like establish empathy, because like customer service job is probably the job that no one wants.
No one wants.
And it's always minimum wage. And like they don't get paid enough, and like we could say that for anything, like really, but like most like high schoolers and junior high kids and even like university students usually have to work a part-time job, not a summer job, a full part-time job while they're a full-time student,
while they're student.
to pay for like maybe 1/4 of their student loans, like maybe if they decide not
or
to,
even just food for them to like get through the day.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
like maybe if they decide not to buy anything and starve themselves and become 114 pounds like myself, you know, so like, yeah, like I definitely think, and if you've never worked a part-time job, like if you're kind of just like, if you, I don't know, worked like, I don't know, a prostitute job, I don't know what the hell. Like if you never worked like a retail job, just understand that like when you're talking to people, like just have a little empathy. Like, yes, it might be frustrating, like what they're telling you, because it feels like they're reading a textbook to you, because, and the reason why they're doing that is because they know you're acting like a child, and they just don't want to tolerate, like, they don't have the mental capacity at all times to de-escalate you and try to make you feel better, because they're just like, dude, like, I'm not feeling okay. And so they kind of just read text and they transfer you over to the manager because they don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I always say this is that if a establishment fucks up, always give them opportunity to fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just like
100%.
write them off, because then they don't want to, and chances are they're probably spilling your drink, like just straight up. They'll probably like, yeah. So you know,
like
always,
the shit that I would do to people's coffee, bro, when they piss me off, man.
exactly right.
Exactly.
And like, you know, and also another thing is that usually you might walk up like, I told him so, I told him off, right? But the thing is, like, you didn't do anything. Now
you didn't do anything.
Now they just talk shit about you, and they make fun of like your saggy tits or something. I don't know, but like, you know, like always be, just be empathetic towards like customer service workers. Like, I think it's super important, because they're human.
Yeah.
I think like, because I worked a part-time job is the reason why like I tip so well. Like I always make sure like when I'm leaving a hotel room, it's always pretty clean, and like I don't fucking like ruin it.
Yeah.
Put a towel so the cum doesn't soak on the sheets.
I get it, because you've been there before, right?
Yeah.
So you know how it feels. Yeah.
In the service of others.
Yeah. I think to build off like your guys' points, I like the point, Ronald, you made where like your coworkers are all like probably still all your friends. Like I know from McDonald's, shout out Eric. Yeah, I met this guy at we went to junior high together, but like we worked at McDonald's for the longest time.
Got to build a relationship with them.
Yeah. your coworkers are like the most like down to earth people because they're also like in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
right?
very relatable. Very
100%.
relatable people.
So
100%.
whenever a rude ass customer comes in, like for example,
on your
in the
side.
drive-through, we're all roasting the shit out of this person on
Yeah,
the
bro, they
headset.
got
Like,
your
yo,
back,
what the
dude.
fuck is wrong with this
Look at
guy?
this fat fuck.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, go. You want to eat healthy?
The
Why are you
Chalk
at
Leaf is
McDonald's?
right across McDonald's. You can go there right now. if you
Exactly.
want.
But yeah, so like the people you meet at these places can be your lifelong friends, if not like, you know, they're just cool people to be around, and
Yeah,
they make
100%.
they make each shift fun. And I guess that's kind of like, you know, how like I worked McDonald's for 7 years. That's kind of like why one of the reasons I stayed, because
Yeah.
like working there, like that's one of like the main reasons that made it fun, like the people you work with.
Like more than often when it comes to these part-time jobs, the reason you stay so long, the reason why I stayed at Tim Hortons for so long, and the reason why I stayed in like at my retail job for so long was because of the people.
Yeah, the
Like,
people.
It wasn't because of like the experience I was giving to the customers. No,
Nah,
fuck that shit, bro.
shit,
Like,
bro.
it was the people. Like it was.
We're all
like,
about the customer. Fuck the customer.
fuck
I'm not
that
about the
shit,
customer.
bro. No, it's because you had like somewhat manageable management that like understood, and then like fucking dope ass coworkers. Like,
Yeah.
If I didn't have fun coworkers, or if I didn't have coworkers that I could relate to, bro, I'd fucking be out of there.
I guess like when you do step up from like a lower paying job, like a part-time job to a full-time job, I guess a benefit of a part-time job is it's really, for some reason, it's really impressive to like hire like the hiring manager and like the manager of the team you're joining to have like a part-time job on your resume. Like when I was applying, like
It shows they know struggle.
exactly, right? So like when I was at applying for my internship at Suncor, like one of the main talking points was like, oh, I worked at McDonald's. Like I didn't prepare much on it because like who wants to fucking
wants
hear
to
about a
li-
guy
li-
working at
listen,
McDonald's?
yeah,
But they
yeah,
actually
guy
asked me,
works
and I'm
at
like, oh
McDonald's,
yeah, like how do you do with like the customers? Like how did you like handle this situation? I'm like, oh shit.
Oh fuck.
So
that-
fuck.
I just spit straight fire, bro. I didn't hold back. I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's kind of like one of the benefits of having a part-time job. It's really impressive when you do make that step up, because it shows that, you know, because you're if you're like a student, for example, it shows that you can manage your time between school
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
work
Mhm.
and all the other stuff in your life. So that's impressive to them. And then I guess like my last point would be like the character thing.
Mhm.
I definitely know, like, if I didn't work a part-time job, I'd probably be like still like fucking shy and like don't want
Yeah.
to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
I would be
yeah.
like more introverted than
Yeah.
than I actually am. But you know, when just like working at a part-time job, dealing with people all day, just kind of forces you to kind of like step out of your comfort zone and like talk, like learn how to talk to people, right? So it's just like, yeah, if I didn't work my part-time job, I'd probably be like, you know, have no social skills,
Literally.
not know how to make friends, not know how to deal with like conflict,
Not
I
know
think
how to
that's the
make
big-
fries too.
not know how to make fries with no salt, bro. Remember that?
hacks.
Hacks. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have learned how to like deal with conflict, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's
De-escalation.
Yeah.
That's the one thing
De-escalation.
I'm grateful is like de-escalation. Like I know that's a skill that police officers should know, but you learn that shit at part-time jobs.
Yo,
Yeah,
like,
legit, no cap.
that should be a prerequisite for
I've
police
every
officers.
okay. I fully believe that every police job has to work at McDonald's for at least 5 years. That's like a minimum training.
Facts. Yeah, man.
If you can't handle McDonald's, you don't deserve a gun. I don't care. Or a taser.
So true.
Or a uniform. Or to be happy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, it teaches you a lot more social skills than like any other job would. Like, knowing how to like talk to people, knowing how to de-escalate, knowing like all that good stuff. I think it's like, it also helps with like social skills outside of a job too, like understanding relationships and understanding like all this other stuff. It in general just builds character, and
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the best things to come out of, you know, a part-time job.
Yeah, and also if you're a broadcast student, it's a good way to make money. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
how I managed to pay off my student loans is through McDonald's money. So shout out to
I just paid off my provincial loan.
Mr. Ray Croft. Yes,
Yeah.
let's go.
And another, well, it's also because it's actually of my actual not full-time job, but the job that pays more, that I was able to pay off my provincial loan. But for those of you who are working, who decided to take a year off, like there's this saying that's like, don't waste your time, take your time, right? So one of the things I always recommend is like, you know, I feel like a lot of people feel ashamed when like they're working at like a McDonald's or a Cineplex or a Tim Hortons, right? Like don't like, you know, if someone makes fun of you for just working a job, like there's some people that like don't work and don't have their license. Like, dude, like just you're like us. I feel like some of my friends might get offended by that, but
get your license.
Oh, fuck. Honestly, having your older sister or your mother drive you everywhere.
Get a job.
Get a job. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So like the idea of like, you know, having money in your bank account really, like, especially because you're like, when you first get money, chances are you're gonna be stupid with it. You're gonna spend it on like stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
So learning what it means to be in deficit, learning what it means to like actually like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, I probably shouldn't spend money. Just having money, you learn a life skill of how to actually manage money. And so, you know, and even though it's not like the money you get in like a full-time job, whatever, it's still money, and you start to
like
build skills.
Build skills with money. Yeah.
So I always recommend part-time jobs. So
it's because of my part-time job that I don't owe as much on my student loans, because like I was very smart with it. But I think also because like I was in dance, and I was in like and I was in and like I was in school, and I was paying for a lot of other things, like, you know, dates for relationships and stuff like that, and like other stuff outside.
For my premium.
Yeah, literally. But I think because of that, like a part-time job helped me fund like a lot of my passions and a lot of other stuff. So, and in turn that helped me budget. And like being able to pay off like a student loan, and like being able to like pay for a trip for me to go like someplace, or fucking win second place at AE Edmonton.
Let's go.
I love you, Lucas Locke. You're so buff, and I would kiss you in person if I ever had the opportunity. I totally lost my point.
But I think just having that like source of like, I guess, secondary income when it comes to that kind of stuff, it helps you build like more financial skills as well. It's also because of a part-time job that I learned how to do my taxes. All right, guys. So that was our episode on first jobs, and just any of our funny experiences with it. If you guys have any first jobs or anything like that, first job experiences or anything like that, leave it in the comments or
share it with us.
Share it with us. Even just like personally message us, especially after the first and maybe even when the second episode comes out, because we're filming this.
We should do an Instagram story. Maybe we could do that. Ask them.
Oh, true.
I had a lot of really good responses, especially even though the topic was so heavy. So please DM us and like share your stories, because it's so good for us to hear.
Yeah.
And we love your guys' involvement, even though we like know pretty much all of you.
This is a community podcast.
It is a community
podcast. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Just like tell your stories, right? Like tell us your most shitty experience with like your part-time job. We will love to hear it. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Jasen.
I'm Ronald.
Vince.
And thank you for watching UGH podcast, guys.
This camera. You know what? The hot one's this camera.
Yeah. Thanks for watching UGH podcast, and make sure to always ask your homies if they're good. Yeah.
You good, homie?
Yes.
You good, homie? Bye bye.
Good.
Peace.
You can now play as Luigi.
Porky.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
All right.